Hey, let's circle back up over here. One thing we can see is inadvertently you're still giving them a shot. So what I mean by that is you were here and the snap down looked pretty good, yeah. But your leg is still out. So your cat, if he's spicy, he can still grab a leg, especially like really, really great wrestlers. And all they have to have is like a pinky toe or still get a blast off, right? So what I mean by that is when you're doing this, when I create this, what I mean by positive control is I'm positively touching them. So I create this. Murphy's Law tells me I create a response, I should expect one back. So if I push him, he's probably going to want to push back. It's just kind of like how this works in the world. So when I create stimulus response to I'm pushing into him and he pushes back, down here, notice that like this back leg was the first one that's moved. So the whole time I'm doing this, my weight's here, but it's primarily in this back leg because this needs to be light so I can move it. Does that make sense? Instead of doing this, which is I create, and I'm not moving this leg. So like the idea of when you're doing this is almost like a sprawl, but it's a control sprawl, and you're sprawling on top of your guy. So instead of going here, I ideally want to do a dramatic step and place his face where my foot was. If that helps visualize. So when I create this, I'll open up whatever, and I'll put my forehead on his temple. That drive guys the same. You can also do some dirty stuff. You can grab the here. I didn't teach that, right? But you can do stuff like this, and it really sucks. And then when I create this really bad day up here, and he wants to release, I'll drive into him, and I'm going to put his head here. Notice that my leg, about the hip, very similar to side control, like when you're in side control position. My center of gravity is low. It's in my haunches here. And I'm going to grab here. One thing to consider is we just brought him down. Now we want to spread him out. So even if we were to start reaching, right, we can start manipulating our weight on this side of his body. If you were to think like trying here, my chest is right here on this triangle, right? I create it here. Don't have to cup the chin, and it's kind of like a detail. Really want to. I mean, I've had it where guys have cut my chin, reared it up this way. That sucks. It's not much you can think about. I really want to just open his body up and just start making him feel my weight. Does that make sense? When you're bench pressing, the weight's balanced, right? Okay. When you're on the guy's back, you need to be unbalanced. So he cannot maneuver as well. Does that make sense? I put 200 pounds, which ain't a lot, 200 pounds on the shoulder girl, compared to 200 pounds on his back. JC can press me off. So if I have it all on one side, I can't. Does that make sense? It also is it's also a lot harder to be able to grab that far in. But to prevent you from getting swept or double leg or blast double, this lead foot, put his head where your foot is. That helps you visualize it. And this snatch down is very violent. It's not like a collar tie to a Russian or anything where it's just a placeholder. But it's very, very violent. And sometimes you're snatching the dude all the way down. I mean, it's the aggressiveness is very explosive. It should be like a very aggressive and violent maneuver. This is not like a simple judo throw. I'm not saying judo is not violent. I'm saying it's not fluid. It's very, very intense. Take that elbow and tuck it here. Out here's lead. This is a lot stronger, yeah. So close it in, break a little bit of discomfort, pick the brain somewhere else, and then when you create that stimulus, expect it to return. If I go over there and push one of y'all, you're going to push me back, right? Same thing, I'm pushing him, he pushes me back. As he's pushing me back, my hand's sliding up to the top of the crown of the head. It's easier to control, right? Very similar to turn and turn. You're going to grab up here, you have more leverage. Same principle, you have more leverage here. Make sense? Okay, just that lead foot needs to go way back here. This good wrestler's gonna blast over this. So you can have a heck of a distance with your back on the back. Please drill with some fluidity. It will actually be as smart as essentially professional. Just so you actually understand the mechanics of how to get down. Please loosen up the tension in the drilling. You will never actually understand how to be efficient. That's not awesome. Yeah, I always say go with like 20% burst, 40, 60, 80. Once you're at 100%, you should be competing right. But in here, it would like 60 lats. One more detail though, I still see the guys taking this shoulder pose like this. This is not really good. This is basic little motion. And yeah, if he decides to come out there, I don't really have a conversation. Like, I don't have anything to stop things. So like this little boots on tigers. This makes all the difference. As you want to. This is no good. This is just going to do this like 2 inches. This little thumb right here makes all the difference. Right? So don't go in here and grab like this. This is what we transition to when we're ready to pull the guy. We push with our thumb, we pull without our thumb, or with our thumb on the other side, okay? Whether that's the delt, the tricep, the head, whatever. But we're pushing the guy or we're maintaining distance, the thumb post. It doesn't feel like much or it doesn't look like it's much, but it really matters, right? Any more questions? All right, let's do 5 more minutes each of just this, and then we'll move on, all right? All right, so that we still get to walk away from the. We got a lot of new faces, right? Since we still get to, we get to walk away with a new submission too. We're gonna transition to mount. All right, and let's rotate 90 degrees, please. All right, so this is from a mount position. We're going to be looking for an arm bar. And particularly, I want to be setting up a, what we would call a top block, which normally we set up from close bar. This is another class. I'll figure out time tonight to get there. But first thing I'm looking to do is I've got this cross face and I have one underhook. This is our starting position, okay? So first thing I'm looking to do is my end goal is to get both this guy's head, both this guy's arms up here. Both his elbows up here above his head, right? At this point, I can start setting up a really nasty arm bar and gonna have a lot less resistance from him. So cross face and an underhook is our starting position. First thing I'm looking to do is we're going to spider walk our fingers in order to start getting this elbow lifted. Because especially if he's resisting, I can't just I'm not gonna beat him just like this, right? It's his lats, right, and my shoulder. So I need to get more of my body weight on my side in order to beat his lats. The first thing that we do in here is we start spider walking our fingers, and I don't spider walk up directly towards the head. When I say spider walk, I literally mean like your hands a spider. Okay, it looks kind of dumb, it's still silly, but it works. All right. All right. What I don't mean is straight in a line like this. I mean kind of at an arc, right? So as he's resisting, and then we get to these spots where we might get a little hold up. At this point, I'm going to straighten my arm by driving my shoulder, and then I'm going to continue spider walking, and then I'm going to straighten my arm some more. Okay, and this is how I'm going to systematically get the elbow higher. So if we're starting right down here again, as long as I've got this underhook, I can start spider walking, and I'm going at an arc right out here, like a circle, not straight. So what I'm trying to do is get all of this happening against just his rotator cuff. Right? So that's why I walk out and okay. So here, that's it. Just a little bit. And right here, I get kind of stuck. Drive, and then I'm going to switch back down, spider walk some more, straighten my arm, more. When I get to this position, I can now use my cross face arm. We call this a cross face arm, the one that's under the head. We call that a cross face. I can lift, and I can cut. Now that one is pretty well secured, right? Now
I can start repeating the same process on this side, right? So we're going to start looking to dig and underhook. We're going to spider walk, straighten, spider walk, straighten. Right? Now, once I've got both arms pinned above his head, I'm going to start looking to transition to what's called S-mount. All right. So I'm going to first bring my, it depends on which arm you want to attack, right? I'm going to choose to bring my left knee up to the shoulder, right? And now I'm going to use this grip I have on him to like lift him up slightly. See how I kind of kick this foot out? And then as I pull him up, I'm going to look to bring this foot to the inside, right here around this corner. Right? This is S mark. So I'm making an S with my legs, right? That way. Next thing I'm looking to do, I'm going to take this hand here. So I'm going to attack this arm. I'm going to pledge allegiance. And I'm staying tight here. I'm not here, right? I'm staying down. I'm going to lean on him. Bring the leg over. I can finish it from here, but I'm going to end the fall too. That's fine. My finish is going to be right there. Right? This is actually a terrible finish because I'm finishing over my junk, but we want to finish over the right hip. Okay? Doing it too slow. Right here, right hip. When we break, whatever arm we break, we're always going to break it. Couple of exceptions, but the general rule when we're doing any arm bar, I'm going to break it over the hip that's closest to the head. Okay. So if I want to break this right arm, I'm not going to take it over my left hip. Almost never. There's a few variations, but generally we're going to take the right arm over the right hip, left arm over the left hip. And this is so we can pull with one arm, push with one arm, or this other arm, and we have a foot of breaking space. Versus here, hey, I'm in the way. Does that make sense? Out here, I'm not in the way. I can tip into him, and I can push him with my arms. So he's getting my hips, he's getting my arms, and he's got a foot of breaking space, right? One more time. On mount, your starting position will be a crawl space and one underhook. We're going to spider walk our fingers up at an angle. And then as we need to, we're going to straighten our arm and then kind of crash back down to collect that space so he can get it back. And some more, straighten, crash back down. I can now lift with my cross face arm up. Now I've got that on. Okay. Next, I'm going to take this underhook. Same process. Okay. Next, I'm going to take, I like to do wrist over wrist here if I can, so just maximum control. But sometimes all you can get is that little cup and a one grip on your wrist. Next thing I'm looking to do, bring one of my knees up to his shoulder. Then I'm going to pull him as I step the foot out. And now I'm going to round the corner with my foot. It's the S now. Right? And you can like squeeze here, really make it so fun. Right? Next, cupping the arm, pledge allegiance to the flag here. I'm not gonna like let all this go yet, right? I'm being nice right now because, or I'm trying to be nice because it does suck. Right here. Next, I'm leaning onto him, right? I don't want to lean back immediately. There's no way I'm gonna provide. Lean up over again, and I'm throwing the leg over. You need to put your hand out for assistance. I got the thing. That's totally okay. Next. I'm going to finish right arm with my right hip. I'm curling my feet. I'm hipping into him. So we call it back heel, just like we did the arm and guillotine last week. Back heel, like curl, hip in, like that. And I've got this arm to pull and to push all at the same time over the right hip. It'll be a very quick tap. Please do it at like 5% power, 5% speed. Because this is going to, if you do this right, it's a very deep arm bar, right? All arm bars should be deep if you did it right, but you know. All right, several of you guys are struggling with like the S mount injury itself. So I just want to recap this one more time. To be this one here. All right.
Let's skip the action, so I saw you. Watch probably really nothing. Okay, so right here. Next, first thing I'm gonna do. What's the first thing? Somebody tell me. Into the shoulder. Yes. Right. I've been raising my hands. Thank you. All right, knee to the shoulder. Notice how my chest is still glued to it. I'm still on you. I'm not just here. I'm on. Next thing. What's the next thing?
Thank you, Mom. Thank you for your wrist.
So, yeah. All right, now I'm gonna pull him up, screwing him to my chest as I round this corner. Right? It's happening at the same time. Right? I'm not shooting my foot super deep, like all the way through, like I'm almost like a triangle. I'm just DNS. Okay? This is not really a mess. Right? And I'll start losing the moves. So here, holding him up with my chest, rest. Also another detail. My hips are very heavy right here on the side. Right? I'm not super far forward. Because he can dump. He like explodes up. He's well, maybe. But I feel a things. I feel like this. I don't feel like I want to feel it. Right? Next thing we're looking to do is I slip his arm. Right? Like you leave it. Or leave it. We're attacking the arms. Side. On the side, I move, then upper detail here. Some of you guys are going way out here. Not that's my fault. I wasn't very specific here. I really want my leg to go almost back towards this hip, and if I have to push that, I can. But I really want to lean back against it. That's step over. Next thing we want to do is make our knees point in the same direction. And instead of like the welcome to say squeeze, I like to take this upward and worry about cutting that angle right there. See how this knee doesn't move well? I'm just slightly lift your leg and his head. Right? And then right here. Right? It works. I came up. I can finish it out. Right.